Megyn Kelly and other MAGAs are turning on this administration, at least as far as foreign policy goes. And JD Vance really had a rough day yesterday on his book tour. Let me kind of explain. JD Vance was on The View. He was on Fox News. He was on with Megyn Kelly. He was on CBS. JD Vance was everywhere yesterday because he's trying to sell books. He has a book to sell, so he's on a book tour. Cool. The problem is that he showed up to do an interview with Megyn Kelly. And what is taking place with Iran is so bad for the average American and for the American people. This is an anti-American decision to go to war that even Megyn Kelly now has started saying, what on earth are we doing? And she points out the Strait of Hormuz has to be open. It was open before Trump did any of this. And JD doesn't really have a good answer.
How is that different from where we were before we launched this war? I get how it's different thanks to the strikes we did last June. That was very helpful.
Sure.
But straight open and nuclear sites destroyed and we're no longer fighting is where we were in February.
Well, we did additional destruction to their nuclear facilities and particularly their capacity to rebuild. So
wait a second. You decimated in June, which means you've taken out 90%. You've left 10%. And that was without going in. And now you needed a full-blown war to get the last 10% plus whatever they've supposedly been able to rebuild since June. That's not making a lot of sense, JD. And Megyn Kelly kept going. Now, I'm withholding my analysis of Megyn Kelly until we get through these clips, so bear with me. But then Megyn Kelly goes, why can't we just see the damn letter at this point? If the letter is so good, show us the letter. Now, within minutes of this being recorded, the letter leaked. We already talked about it at the top of the show, but at the time it hadn't leaked. And Megyn's going, show us the letter, especially if it's good.
Why can't they see? Why can't we all see the MOU right now?
Well, yeah. So first of all, the president said by the latest Friday, possibly as early as tomorrow, we're going to release the memorandum of understanding text.
Yeah, it leaked.
The reason why we haven't released it yet is there are some delicate diplomatic things going on where the Iranians, and not just the Iranians, but some of our mediators, the Pakistanis and the Qataris, have asked us to sequence this in the right way. I don't, frankly, fully understand it, but there are sensitivities that exist in the Arab and Muslim world that we're trying to be responsive to. Fundamentally, does it really matter if the deal comes out on Wednesday versus Friday? No.
This is all bullshit because this isn't the deal. It's simply a page-and-a-half letter outlining the negotiation period of 60 days to begin and some generalities. The idea, the deal might come out. It's going to be months. Now, let me mention something, and I don't want this to come across the wrong way. This is not, oh, now we like Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly's now a voice of reason. This is, Megyn Kelly is horrible and deranged. But the Iran fiasco is so blatantly bad, even by the standards that Trump laid out during his campaign and the standards that people like Megyn Kelly adopted of Donald Trump. It's so bad that even Megyn Kelly realizes it and is asking skeptical questions of JD Vance. That's the interpretation. Not, wow, Megyn Kelly, so great. It's even Megyn Kelly is innocent. And there's audience capture where she has people in her audience who are going, wait a second. The anti-war guy and prices would come down, and he ended up being the new war guy and prices went up. So let's not praise Megyn Kelly too much, but it's so bad even she realizes it. She then points out, by the way, the Constitution does say you need approval to declare war.
The Constitution does say you need approval to declare war, which Trump doesn't think he did and didn't seek. But now, and he defended him on that. But now that we're ending it, which you definitely don't need congressional approval for. He wants this treated like a treaty and is demanding you go before Congress, sir.
Well, to be clear, I don't think that congressional approval was required. I really firmly do believe that. The president, this was never a full-scale war in the conventional or legal sense of it. So
we won the war, but it wasn't a war.
We definitely made sure that we dotted our I's and crossed our T's here. So I wanted to defend the...
They didn't. Trump was in Florida when they launched the war. JD Vance was in the Situation Room. They have no clue what they're doing. So we've got a few important pillars here. Megyn Kelly's questions. Number one, if things are basically where they were before the war, what did we really gain? And the only thing JD Vance was able to come up with is, well, we did some more destruction to nuclear sites. No regime change, no elimination of their ballistic missiles capabilities, no guarantee that they will never have a nuclear weapon, none of it. No, we did a little more destruction. The White House wants credit for the military strike, and they want credit for the peace deal, even though these narratives don't really fit together because the whole thing was optional and nothing was gained. They want everybody to celebrate a deal that, as of this recording of that interview that we played, hadn't even been released, and it wasn't even a deal. It was a letter to start negotiating the deal. And then they go, it wasn't technically a war in order to bypass Congress, but also we won the war. So I don't think Megyn Kelly's the real story here. It's the contradictions are now so obvious that even Trump-friendly voices are noticing. And just wait until you see what happened when JD Vance was interrogated by the middle-aged ladies of The View, who did a phenomenal job in exposing him for the fraud that he is. Appreciate you watching. Stick around for this next video, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you actually see our uploads. You can also catch the full podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.